Awesome. Okay. So we would like to invite our next speaker in. We're very, very excited about the next event. It's going to talk about minimalism. And this is one of the most interesting topics that has emerged in the past couple of years. So I'd like to ask Victoria to share her experience and
Marie Kondo. I feel like she was kind of the you
pioneer.
know yeah, or not say pioneer, but she definitely made that popular and made it
Yeah.
very accessible to people, having her
Mm-mm.
show and everything. And I would say initially I wasn't a minimalist person, but I think that came with time slowly. You kind of find things that you appreciate more than others and you just focus on those things rather than wanting everything. And clutter is, I think, at least to me, very anxiety inducing. When you have like a space, for example, a physical space
Exactly. Exactly.
full of too much stuff, I feel like it's very easy for people to see what my mental state looks like by just looking at my space.
Yeah.
So cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Anybody from the our poll of attendees today who want to share your minimalist experience, or if you have interest around like minimalism, let us know.
Yeah.
We can pull you in. This is like our like casual chat part of the panel, and just
Yeah.
let us know if you have any
So
comments.
feel free if you want to, take a moment to shout out or just, make a comment in the chat box. That's cool too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, but yeah, we have Dr. Kavita here in attendance. So
Dr.
our
Kavita.
yeah, thanks for joining us. And this next segment is about minimalism and how we can tackle that not only in our physical spaces but also in our minds. And Dr. Kavita is known as India's leading psychotherapist and psychologist. So she's got more than 13 years of work experience, and she's got a lot of experience here today to help us get through this time.
Okay, cool. Um, Before we actually start with Dr. Kavita's panel, we want to just do the replay for our intro from our co-founders, because I got the note that there was the tech issue earlier, and they want to say hi to everybody just so we can welcome it. Also for the new attendees who had just come in,
Yeah.
want to send a shout out to Michaela. Thank you so much. We got your Instagram message. Hello. So let me show you guys. These are our Safe Space founders, Lynette and Antoinette, and they want to say hi to everybody.
Hello, I'm Antoinette. And I'm Lynette. We're the founders of Safe Space. This weekend, we'd like to welcome you to Safe Space, the sustainable lifestyle post-pandemic era and beyond virtual event. In these uncertain times, it's particularly important to look after your mental well-being. This weekend, we will cover life coaching and goal-setting techniques to help you live a sustainable lifestyle. We really understand that due to the pandemic, it's really difficult to look after your mental health. And our goal is to ensure everyone has the skills that they need to get a sustainable lifestyle that they deserve. A sustainable lifestyle is not easy, but it's definitely worth it. Join us this weekend as we cover concepts around physical health, minimalism, and self-care. For HR managers joining us for this 2-day series, you'll be gifted with a free EAP that can be launching as early as February. We really hope you enjoy this event and enjoy yourselves today.
Awesome. So those are our Safe Space founders for everybody who are not familiar of Antoinette and Lynette just yet. So again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us this weekend. We want to give the floor to Dr. Kavita.
Hi, good morning, everyone from India, and hope all of you are doing well. I'm really glad to be on this platform. Thank you, Safe Space, for keeping these type of sessions organizing, and I love being here. So on this note, let me just share my slides, and probably we can shoot the first poll question simultaneously. So the topic is minimalism effective? Internal versus external clutter. So let's understand what are we getting in the poll questions. Judith, would you help me with the poll questions, answers? I can't
Yeah,
see it
sure.
in there. Yeah.
Okay, sure. There you go. The poll questions should be up, so if you guys can answer this. Do you understand minimalism and have you tried it yet?
How do I see the answers? Somehow not visible on my screen.
Okay, so what do you understand by minimalism is a 50-50 yes and no. And then have you tried minimalism yet? There are more people who say no than who say yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you. So let's understand what is minimalism. So basically, it's a kind of life where you survive or thrive in bare minimum things that you have. You do not spend a lot of money, time, and energy. Can you see my slides?
Yes, we can.
So, okay, you don't spend your time and energy on a lot of things, but you thrive on basics of life, like you can have a bed, a sofa, a few utensils, and stuff like that. However, if we understand minimalism, then there is no such thing as pure minimalism, right? There's no such thing as complete minimalism. However, the concept is when you have less amount of things, you are more sorted, right? If you're having so many things in your house, you will keep on looking at this and that, and you keep on cleaning your space or clutter around. So this is how this works, right? So less things and more productivity. If you see the next slide, I would like to explain two types of people that we have. One type of people fall into the category, we call it as emotionals or emo in short. The other is physicals. The difference are varied. Like the physicals are creative in nature. They are people who are outgoing, extrovert. They love to interact with people. They are jovial in nature. However, what they like doing is spending a lot. They are impulsive in their shopping styles. Like, if an emo would go for shopping, he would figure out what should I buy today. Emos are having value for time and value for money. So they are like kind of introvert people, okay, right brain oriented. Physicals are left brain oriented. Sorry, physicals are right brained and emos are left brain. Logical analysis is emo part. Physical is creative and imaginative in approach. So once an emo go for a shopping, he would prefer, okay, what should I buy? Formals or informals? Should I buy t-shirts or pants? What should I buy? I should buy black, yellow t-shirt, blue t-shirt, or he may not prefer yellow at all. Okay, he will pick up one plain shade, like background matching shade, and he'll be happy, content with one thing that he buys, and he'll go back home. While if he goes with the physical wants yellow also, he wants pink also, he wants formal, he wants informal, right? So there's a joke. Emo will be carrying his own small little t-shirt or not even any stuff in his hand for himself, but a lot of stuff for the physical, right? So majorly, when you talk about consumerism, it is more about people who shop often. So they are so creative that they will go to various cities and buy stuff for their house and come back and put it in a decorative piece. A number of consumerists, they will sell their approaches or have the use of selling approaches using the mindset of physicals in their mind, right? So, with emos, they are more structured individuals. Physicals are more into this and that. They're all over the place, right? So they are the ones who shop often. Now, what we are going to teach here is how a physical can become an emo, a smaller part of emo can be brought up so that better productivity can be seen from physicals also. A better life can be seen in a physical's life. But before that, let's understand mind and how it functions. So there are two parts of the mind, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is just 10 to 12%. The subconscious mind is 88 to 90%. And it is 6,000 times more powerful. What does this suggest? This suggests whatever goes in your conscious mind will definitely move inside your subconscious mind. That's how the mind takes in the information. How do we take in the information? We take in the information through various inputs from your environment, through the 5 senses that we have: the smell, the taste, the eyes, the ears, and the touch, right? The body itself gives the signals, whether it is tired, it is having fatigue, or it is hungry. The conscious mind itself does a lot of thinking, reasoning, analysis, judgments, decision making, and implementing those decisions. That's the part of the conscious mind, its own work that it does, it's the function. And so with each and every thing that you see, you feel, you hear, you touch, you sense, or at this moment when you're listening to me, you will be having your own thinking, reasoning, analysis at the back of your mind. That's the conscious mind talking to you. If you did not have any breakfast in the morning, if you did not sleep well at night, your body will be giving a signal to your mind, okay, I am tired, you need to rest. Why are you even sitting in this webinar, right? With each conscious thought, there is a thought from the subconscious mind, which is connected to our previous experiences of life. Maybe our own belief systems, our judgments, these are from the conscious mind. However, your experiences, your emotions are from the subconscious mind. Now, the moment I explained there are 2 types of people, emo and physical, and I explained the characteristics of people, I'm sure one of the person from your known group of friends or family would be there on your mind. That person is not there in this moment in front of your eyes. But with that thought, oh, do I know a person like a physical ear? Do I know a person who's an emo? Who am I? All these are coming from the subconscious mind. So, the more the thinking, reasoning, analysis, the more the input in your conscious mind, the more the files get created on your conscious mind. The conscious mind processes the information with the speed of 4,000 message units per minute. Now, each message unit is, every sense that you are using. Like you're listening to me, you're watching the screen. On the screen, there are various pixels, right? And there'll be people around, or some voices around, or the temperature that you are in, right? So all of these are one message unit each. Now, if it is just 4,000 message unit per minute, then one thing is clear: in 1.5 hours, one file is created onto your conscious mind. The more the clutter in your conscious mind, the less the productivity in your life, the less the self-care in your life, the less you reach to your life plan. All of us come to earth with a soul plan, a life plan, things that we have to achieve, a track of life, right? The future that we want, that gets decreased. With minimalism, if we understand, if we are like a physical person who is shopping a lot, there are so many things to look after. Why does a physical shop a lot? because he has a strong fear of rejection from the emo mostly. Okay, emos, they need their own spaces. So now physical, if he feels a void, he would like to fill that void by buying a lot of stuff. You know, we when there is a void, we have tendencies to get into addictions. One of the addictions is, you know, having so many things around, having so many people around in our lives. You know, if I talk about a physical, he'll be busy with this person's life, that person's life, sorting out someone else's problems, not able to do his own work, and, you know, being into so many people. Now, understand what happens to your own mind when you are engaged with so many activities. Where is the time for your own self? You miss out that. And then definitely in the end, you feel, oh, I could not do what I expect out of my life. At the age of 60 or 59 or 40, if you're looking back and if you're seeing whether you could add value to your life or others around, and you find yourself in a void again, then that's a terrible state. So the best thing is to have less shopping and more of self-care, to have less of things, less of people in your life, or structured way of living, and have more space for the productivity, for the better things that needs to be done through you. And remember, you are a chosen one. Otherwise, you won't be on this earth loitering the place. Okay. So add value instead of, you know, cleaning the place or looking after the clutter. And then with each clutter that you look, each thing that you bought, you will have different signals in your mind. Like, for example, you know, on a birthday, one of your friends gave you a gift, a precious one to you at that moment. You will use that gift, and for after some days, that gift will not even give you any happiness. And later on, while looking at that gift, you will only have message units from your subconscious mind. The feelings that will come up. Oh, so and so person gave me this gift. Now this person is not in touch with me. What happened between us? You know, so many message units again on your conscious mind, leading you nowhere. So what you can do, small little tricks that you can apply in your life is, you know, I'm going to give you a 21 days declutter challenge, uh, a self-care checklist. These two will be delivered to you into your inboxes. Let me show you how they look. If I can only understand how to close this thing. One sec. Okay, goes here. So it looks something like this declutter challenge or self-care. How can you care for yourself? That's one of the list. So you can understand your physical, psychological, emotional, spiritual, you know, every aspect of your life. What all can you do? So day one, spend time imagining how you would like to feel at the end of this challenge. Day two, drink a glass of water first thing every morning, you know, small little things. So these are few tasks. Like on day 14, try a 15-minute guided meditation from any YouTube channel. Day 24, educate yourself on the history of your own city. And then, of course, you know, after each task, you can describe or identify your feelings like this. You can note them down. 7 days of gratitude each week. What, or day one, what 3 or 5 things you're grateful for that happen in the entire week, right? And you know, many times in our life we feel, okay, we are not worth it, or life is not going on in our way. The more you have the list of gratitude, and you can play a gratitude song at the background of your mind, you will understand there are things that you are grateful for, and there's so much blessings in your life, right? The more the blessings, the lighter the mood. There is no anxiety, there is no depression. Again, you know, week 2, so this complete list will be emailed to you. Then there are certain goals that you can have for your own self. So instead of buying, shopping, or looking after the things in other people in your life, why not love yourself? Why not care for your own self? And then there are few inspiration and examples, you know, that all you can use. So it's a complete thing that you will get in your email inboxes. And let me just close this one. I wish
just a note, actually the 30-day self-care workbook, as well as the challenge has been put in the chat. So you can just download it from the chat if you guys would like to.
Perfect, thank you. Now, let me show you quickly how this challenge of 21 days minimalism look like. Day one, start cleaning out your closet, your wardrobes, things, clothes that you are no more wanting, have minimum 2, 3, 4, sets of clothing, shirts that would go with almost every pants, or pants that would go with, match and mix combination you can use. Day two, clean your handbag. I know that's the hardest thing one woman can do, but start from there. We may have lipstick shades, we may have mascaras and so on, so forth, but then just reduce them. Okay, give gifts to people who are less in academic, or sorry, less in status, economic status. They can use them. Okay, then your fridge, then probably your makeup collection. You can use all of these and start working ahead with your minimalism. So the less of all of this will definitely give more space for many important things in life. The next thing that I shared here is pen and paper activity. Now, what is that? Pen and paper activity is just pick a pen and paper and start jotting down your thoughts, anything that comes to your mind. So what will happen with this? Whatever is the clutter in your conscious mind, somewhere here in these small sections, I can't draw it here, but anyway, so this will get sorted, right? The thoughts, the extra things which are available here, which are not letting you perform the best, they will get reduced. Plus, some things from your subconscious mind, those are the connecting files, even they will be out of your system. So that's the pen and paper activity. If you honestly do it, it may take 2 to 3 hours. So think about it. It's about decluttering your own mind. I understand when space is clean, your mind has enough space. But then what about the things that are already existing on your mind? You can really release them by pen and paper activity. Once you write it down, you can do a moonlight meditation. In the night, go on the top of your building, take a matchstick, burn out those papers, giving the intention, this issue or these issues have finally left my life. Burn them. Throw the ash again with the intention, these issues have now finally left my space. And then bury those ash pieces into a pot or mud or sand, right? So that it gets recycled. So that's how you can declutter your own mind. Then another concept is personal space. What I would like to do is I would like to show it onto a whiteboard. What you can do is, give me a second. I have a whiteboard here. Yeah. So what does that mean is, you can have a personal space with the number of friends people think about all the people till now. Draw 3 circles. One, within this circle, 1 second. How do I delete this? This is funny. Okay, it goes there. Then another circle. And then one more circle, right? Mention 3 names here. Now, these are the people who are closest to you, who will always stand by your side, your mom, your dad, your friends, or your sister, right? Then 5 people here, 7 here. If you want more people in your life, you can write down 10 people here on this periphery, people whose existence matters to you. And 15 acquaintances, you can talk to them, right? Now, this activity initially, when you start doing, you may feel you don't know people. But then once you start writing, you will have so many people and you know whom to include in your life. right? You would know if person from 15 number here is approaching you to sort out the problems, how much time do you need to indicate or give to that person? So that will save more time for yourself. For these three people, you can be available always. This is about sorting out your relationships, your life. The next concept that I wrote there was time management. What do we do here is have a chart in your uh, space or in your homes or offices, wherever you are, and draw something like that. Write down important, not important, urgent, not urgent things here, right? Now, whatever distractions or thoughts come to your mind, you can start writing them out in the respective boxes. Important and urgent, write down here. Not important but urgent, write down here. Not urgent yet important here. Not important, not urgent here. Now, this is the section that you can easily dump off. And this is the section which has number one priority. Life gets sorted, right? So these are the few techniques that you can use for yourself and have a clutter-free life. You can easily understand this thing is important or the other, right? So I guess on this note, I can open the forum for Q&A.
Yeah, we actually have quite a few questions here. So maybe we can start with the first one, which is how do I clear all these lingering thoughts in my mind?
How do I clear the lingering thoughts in your mind? As I suggested, the pen and paper activity, right? And always understand whatever you think that has a potential to create a reality for you. You got to change your thought. Now, suppose, for example, you may think I am not worthy, or people do not love me enough, or I'm not lovable. Then you will invite more of people who won't love you, right? So you got to change your focus and bring the thought, a lighter one that says, I love and accept myself the way I am, right? Or everyone, I invite people who love me and care for me. Everything that I desire comes to me easily and effortlessly, right? So these are a few tips that you can do for yourself, plus the pen and paper activity, and then burn all those lingering thoughts.
Right. Like, would you suggest, like, sorry, going off of that question, but would you suggest that to be something that you do daily, or is that like do you incorporate this into your?
You know, Judith, the situation is if we do something for 21 days, there is one neural pathway that is created between the mind and the brain.
A habit?
Yes, habit is 40 days.
Oh.
Habit is 40 days.
40 days, okay.
Yes, and a new cell regeneration happens in 90 days. So the persistence is the only answer, right? The more you persist, the better the results.
Right. And that makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
is minimalism a way to explore peace?
You can say that, yes. Meditation, going within, it's not about going outside of you. It's going within. What is the void in my life that I am into consumerism, right? So once you go within, once you have peace, you go within and you figure out the way of life, right? You figure out the real void. What is the core emotion or the core issue that was leading you into this? You know, we say often, you're feeling sad, let's go shopping. Right? So stop doing that, rather go within, have peace.
Right. I guess you mentioned like meditations, right? So one of the questions here is what kind of meditations do you recommend?
What kind of meditation? There are a number of meditations, like breathing exercises is the most important one. You know, if you're sitting in some place and your mind is having clutter,
marketing ploy rather than it being about an internal thing. It's more about like incorporating minimalist design and things like into your interior. So I guess like when people think of minimalism, it may not necessarily remind them of like mental struggles or your clutter, but it reminds them of more commercial things. And I guess while that might help visually, I suppose the first thing, like what Dr. Kavita said, is we can do is to go inward. Is definitely the more cost-effective option. So next question: how will minimalism affect my anxiety?
So, as I said, the more things you have around, the more clutter is there. You're anxious. The less things you have around, you are within, right? You're not thinking of, will I have enough money, enough food to eat in the future, enough people to meet in the future, enough of things in the future. Anxiety is a future's emotion, right? So when so many things are not there, what will people see or think if they are coming to my home? I mean, hello, you are in a minimalism zone. People will not think anything. You got to come down, it will calm you down. It will take you to your own subconscious mind, which is a no judgment chat. It doesn't judge. It has only feelings, right? And you are within, you are at peace with everything. So anxiety reduces on its own. You work upon just, what is required at this moment, not about the future worry. Okay.
Actually, I liked what you just mentioned about anxiety being a future emotion. I think that's something that we easily forget, because when we are worrying about things, so you're a worrywart, and you start picking at things. A lot of it is to do with like how you feel about the future, but that's not what the present is about. So I think that's something I personally often forget as well. Yeah. Also, just again, opening to the floor. If anybody wants to raise your hand and jump into the conversation live instead of asking the questions in the Q&A, please do so. Because we'd also like to know some of the context behind your questions that may not be given in this Q&A. So so the next question is, what's the best way to minimize my approach in life? I feel like I want to do everything, and this gives me a lot of anxiety.
1 second, I was just reading the chat. Yeah, so could you please repeat that again?
Yeah, so what's the best way to minimize my approach in life? I feel like I want to do everything, and this gives me a lot of anxiety.
What's the best approach to minimize your anxiety or approach?
Minimize my approach in life.
Minimize your approach in life. Okay. Give me a second. I would like to share the PPT again. I guess we have enough time with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So if you understand mind, the more your thought processes, the more the clutter, as I said. Okay. Now, once the clutter is formed, emotions get attached to that. Emotions could be love, peace, happiness, or many times anger, frustration, fear, anxiety, as we just talked about. So what we got to do is we got to reduce it all. How do you reduce it all? By probably going back to these techniques. So can we, at this moment, out of all of that, can we do the personal space technique here? Whoever asked this question and others also, just take a pen and paper and let's draw the circles for ourselves, the circles of people whom we know.
I feel like I need to get a notebook in here. One
Just-
second.
Just actual practice.
Yeah, for real. I should have
Let's
come
do it.
prepared.
We invite everybody too in your houses. Just get a pen and a paper.
Just get a pen and paper. I can actually do it.
Rambling. Okay, I got my notebook.
There we go. There we go. I got mine. We'll wait for everybody, Dr. Kavita. Let's give everybody
Yeah.
about 2 minutes to get their pens and papers.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can show them like the circles too, like the
The whiteboard. Yeah,
presentation
I
for
was
the
thinking of
whiteboard.
that.
So copy, yeah.
Yes.
There was
Give me a
actually a comment in the Q&A box that said, not a
Yeah.
question, but I really like this whiteboard exercise. I think
So-
all of us can agree it's very useful.
yeah.
Yeah, has to, let's do it because I mean
Let's
I
do it.
had less time, so I was just rushing away with the things.
Yeah.
But then let's do it. Okay.
Okay.
So I wanted to write 3 names here.
Three names.
Yeah, out of the entire list of people it is from the childhood or till the present date. Only 3 names that you would like to, if you are here in the center, the closest or the most intimate people. If this is you, then who will be around you? Or whom you can rely upon, the confidants of your life. And you got to tell me about the time limit, because when I flow,
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so 3 people, and then Dr. Kavita, what's the next big circle?
And next is 5 people.
5 people.
After these 3 people, who will be the people you can rely upon? Once that is sorted, come to 7 people here.
Actually, I do have a question about this. So when I'm
Mhm.
thinking about this, right, when we think about people that we rely on, are you referring to like overall, as in terms of like everything, or is it specifically like emotionally and something? Because when I'm looking at this, I'm realizing that there might be some people that I go to more for emotional support than others. So like, in
I
terms of
would
that,
rather prefer emotional support.
right?
Okay.
Those
Okay.
hanging out people could be here on the periphery, their existence matters to you, those 10 people or 7 or 10 people, okay?
Mhm.
Interesting.
Okay, so 3, 5, 7.
10
Yeah.
on the periphery.
Yeah.
These are the people who may be there emotionally for you or may not be, but their existence matters in your life.
Okay. Other question. What if you don't have enough names to add into this?
That's
Does
what
it
I'm
mean
saying.
that I'm doing
That's
the
what I
minimalist
said.
thing right?
I said when you start doing this activity, you may not find more than 3 or 5 names in your life.
Okay.
But once you honestly get into this, you will know there are so many people either from the past or from your office or from your neighborhood or your friends around, your colleagues, your clients. So many names we know till now. I mean, if I talk about myself, I mean, I wanted to say, Judith, what is your age? But I realized I should not ask. So I think if I talk
Okay,
about
you can
myself,
ask.
so, if I talk about myself over these 37 years of my life, I know so many people, right? Some teachers, some mentors, you will easily figure out, but you need to give this brain a little juggling and struggling to scratch it to understand where are those people.
Hmm.
And Dr. Kavita, can you also like review and refer back to what the different circles mean? What
Yeah.
what are the differences between these?
Yes,
these-
yes. So this closest one is the closest people, It can include your parents, your family, or people whom you can rely upon entirely for your life. They will be there anyhow, right? The 5 people could be your little close, or can say very good friends, or very good people who are there in your life, who will support you after these 3 people. This is about good friends, right? By friends, I'm not meaning to say that only friend circle wale friend, right? There can be so many people who fall into the category of good friends. Okay. Then 10 here, sorry, 7 I've explained already. 10 here are your okay types friend, whom you can hang out with, your colleagues, your some acquaintances, friends of your colleagues, or friends of friends, right? And then somewhere here you can write down 15 names. That means acquaintances. They can be there in your life, they cannot be there, but they can be around, whenever you don't have any people, or you randomly want to call up someone, they are available. Because if we rely upon only those 3 people, we may give them the importance in our life, but they may have their own different set of importances. They may not be there at times, but the others will be there, right?
I think I have another question, Dr. Kavita, in
Yeah.
M&A that relates to this one. Does this whiteboard work with goal setting too?
Maybe you can think about that, but for goal settings, we have different, better set of exercises.
Mm.
That's about personal space, you got to manage.
Okay. So this was I think everybody's had done their papers and white paper exercises.
Yeah.
I think another question, Dr. Kavita, that relates to this actual practice that we did is, what's a recommended journaling technique? Is there a recommended journaling technique that we can?
I don't know about the standardized recommendations. What I can recommend is what I do like every day, or I used to do, I can say, or I suggest to my clients, right? Every day, just take your diary, write down the date, and start with things, some few paragraphs. Like the first one can go, how was your day? How was the day? Paragraph. Okay, not it was good, it was better. Not just one word. Okay, small little paragraph, 2-3 sentences. Things that went well in the day, good things that happened, right? Next, things that need improvement. What better you could have done? I was angry and I blurted out, or I bursted out in front of someone. What I could have done? I could have, taken few breaths, came back in the present, and then talked about whatever and however I felt, instead of shouting or, losing my temper.
Yeah.
The fourth thing is, how can it get better than this? Now, this is for your future. How can you make things better for yourself, for others around? Maintain these 4 paragraphs every day, minimum 21 days, and you will see a pattern of your life, right? Once you're aware of things, you can always work upon them, right? It's a kind of logbook for your own self.
Yeah. I think going off of that, like, are there other daily activities that we can do to declutter thoughts and remove anxiety, for example?
Yeah. So what you can do is simple. make a list of all those things that are heavy thoughts, heavy in the sense negative ones. I'm not worthy, people don't like me, or my mother always hated me. Okay, all each thought that comes to your mind, just make a list, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Okay, write the opposing thoughts here, the lighter one, the positive ones. If I say here, I am not focused, I can write here, I am focused in my approach. I don't get things in my life, I can't reach my goals. Write down, I am working upon my goals. How do we make these lighter thoughts? By 7P techniques. 4, 5, 6, 7. The first one is positive. Use positive words in your language. I am not good enough will not work. I am loving, I am good enough will work. So avoid the negative words from your dictionary. Then you can write down present tense in your words. Like if you say, I am going to get enough money, or my life is going to be better, this future tense will not work. You have to bring it down to present. Like I am good enough, I am reaching my goals, I am on my life plan. Okay, precise. If you ask so many things, you will not get it. Again, it's like a clutter. Okay, so it's about decluttering your thoughts. Stop writing so many things, one thing at a time. Okay, if you're working upon your money, work upon your money. If you're working upon your relationships, work upon your relationship. If you're working upon your job, work upon your job. Okay, one thing at a time, because mind gets confused with so many neural pathways around. Okay, so one step at a time. Plausible. So when you're writing that positive list, lighter thoughts, things that are plausible, that you can achieve easily. Now, if you are writing in your list, when I declutter my mind, others will start loving me. The focus is onto others. It's not plausible. What you can write down, when I declutter my life, I become worthy enough to be loved. This is plausible. You can work upon your thoughts and feelings. Once you work upon yourself, others just mirror you. Right? And things will work out for you. But the focus needs to be on your own self. Plausible. Okay? Then personal. There may be people who address themselves as, I can address myself as Dr. Bhargav or Dr. Kavita or I. Right? So use those words, I, or if Judith says, okay, Judith is good at this, or M says M loves solving people's problems. So you need to address yourself in a very personal way, okay? Because that will divert your mind to a personal concept, okay? Then practice. Practice as if you've already achieved what you want in your life. We say in order to believe in magic, you first need to believe in magic, right? So whatever you want in your life, by decluttering yourself, have that focus already. It's about practicing already, reaching that state of mind. If you are decluttered, how will you start behaving? It's about that. And start doing that. Feel that emotion already in you. Instead of anxiety, feel peace. You got to tame your mind. It's not that easy to tame your conscious mind. But then with practice and detachment, we can always do that. Okay?
Sorry to Dr. Vida, because there is a question that I feel is aligned with what you had mentioned. There is this question: how do I redirect my wording on the present tense when I easily get anxious on the future?
Okay, I need an example. So if you are anxious about the future, okay, instead of the example, let me just give you direct affirmation. What you can do is, before starting this webinar, let me give you my example. Before starting this webinar or yesterday onwards, I got to know that I have to travel from one city to another. Okay. And my entire 2 days, Saturday, Sundays are packed. I did not know what to do. Like after this webinar at 12, immediately after this, I have something else, there's something else lined up. So within, those sessions, I will be attending those sessions online, sitting in my car. And it's like 6 hours drive, 400 or 600 kilometers types. So it's like that. Before the session, I was like, how do I take this session with a calm mind? So what I did was, this is the advice to you also, whoever asked this question. The affirmation is, I pull back all my consciousness or all my focus from the future, and I come to the present. I choose to happily live in this moment. That's the affirmation. I pull back all my consciousness from the future. I choose to happily live in this present. Okay. So your anxiety will come down and you will be in the present. Okay.
Really helpful.
Thank you. The last one is persistence. What is persistence? As I talked about the neural pathway, 21 days time is required. So minimum 21 days with those thoughts on the lighter side that you wrote. If I come back, right? So if you focus one thought one day and then leave it, things will not work out for you. You need minimum 21 days of practice with each of the thoughts that you write.
21 days of doing this
Yes.
journal exercise. Okay, Judith,
Absolutely.
we've got our assignments for the next
Clearly.
So 21 days. Right?
February.
And why?
Dr.
why
Kavita,
yeah,
this also is a, sorry. I
Yeah,
think this also is aligned with your note. What happens when I quit midway, the 21 days? What happens?
that's what
possible.
I'm coming to. Okay. Now see, imagine if this is one door and this is another door. Okay. In the mid, there is some grass everywhere. Okay. All this is grass. Now what will happen? If I walk from this door to this door, the grass will be pressed a bit, right? And then it will stand up again. The second day I walk, this will be little stronger, little more pressed, but it may come up again, right? So which is why I say you need to walk 21 days on the same pathway to get one neural pathway. The grass will be completely pressed from here, okay? And then in 40 days, this may widen up. You will see proper root here. Easily others can follow, right? In 90 days, if this is a grass thing, then I can I can make it into a road, right? And drive vehicles onto it, okay? That's about the neural pathway thing. So if 21 days practice is not done, the neural pathway is not formed. Our old habits will come up. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think there is another question that's outside the journals and your pathways and the habits, but let's go back to the circle. The crowd favorite one. Where do your children fit in these circles?
Depends. If I was me, I would prefer my mother, father, partner probably here. Children probably here. Then again, it's your personal choice. We can only tell about ourselves. Where do you want to fix them? Maybe there is a single mother who doesn't have a partner. She can put them here. If the parents are not there, you can put your children here. Depends. Okay. And if somebody is there whose children are not, good enough, you can put them out.
Chinese New Year is coming up with Mike's comment about competitiveness in the family. They compete on the larger circles. That's a really
Yeah.
good point, Dr. Kavita.
Or
Mm.
right now we'll put them in the larger circles, and then after CNY you can decide if you want to remove them.
We have to review this
Just
year.
joking, but
And if you want to be more structured in your approach, what you can do is
Yeah.
rank each circle. For 3, give them 1, 2, 3. For 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
No, okay. This is the person I got to.
Uber ranking. This is the journaling that we really need to do. This is
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Kavita. I'm just mindful of the time. Anything that you want to cap up for a Q&A for everybody that's attending this event? Any final notes about the journaling, minimalism, mindset about creating that habit? From Dr. Kavita, do you have any final notes, final advice for the team and
Yeah.
for the attendees?
My final advice would be, we can talk a lot, right? But when it is implemented, only then you see the difference. Okay, you can come, sit here, attend the session or organize the session, go back without any takeaways. But then that's important. What do you learn? So on this note, can I have my listeners and you guys take some time off and write down in your notebooks, what is your takeaway? And then let's recollect, okay, what all could you learn here? So I'm going to give you some 2-3 minutes time. What did you learn in this session? And of course, in the previous session, if you want to add on, okay, just write down your takeaways.
Actually, Dr. Kavita, we might not have time for that.
Okay.
But we do have a survey link that Judas is sending out to everybody. Feel free to send us your takeaways for Dr. Kavita's talk,